If you only look at his nearly 2-meter tall stature and muscular build, like a Viking warrior straight out of the pages of Norse history, many would mistakenly think Erling Haaland is just a typical centre-forward, relying on strength, physical play, and aerial ability. But the reality is quite the opposite. What strikes fear into defences worldwide is not his height or physique, but his explosive speed. It's hard to believe that a player who is only 1.94 meters tall can move with the grace and accelerate like a sprinter. Just a moment of carelessness, even a tiny gap behind the defence, and Haaland instantly shoots off like an arrow released from a bow, turning the entire pitch into his own personal runway. His powerful strides allow him to devour every inch of grass in just a few runs. Each acceleration from Haaland feels like an approaching storm, leaving even the most prepared defenders helpless as he disappears into the distance. On numerous occasions in the Premier League and Champions League, fans have witnessed the world's fastest centre-backs seemingly stand still as Haaland sprints. At times reaching speeds of nearly 36 km per hour, he possesses the speed of smaller wingers, yet the power of a giant striker. This combination defies almost all conventional rules of football. Even more frightening is that Haaland never loses control at his maximum speed. While many players have to slow down to control the ball or prepare to shoot, Haaland maintains perfect balance. He can simultaneously accelerate, shield the ball from aggressive tackles, and then calmly unleash a one-touch shot. Every move happens so quickly that the opponent has almost no time to react. Therefore, every counterattack involving Haaland feels like a predetermined verdict. Haaland's speed is not just an attacking weapon, but also a psychological nightmare for any defense. As long as he's on the pitch, defenders are forced to retreat deeper, be more cautious, and constantly worry that even a single long pass could cost them dearly. They don't just run to keep up with Haaland, but also run in fear of being left behind. And once Erling Haaland starts accelerating, the only thing defenders can do is turn around and chase after him in desperation. Because in front of them is no longer an ordinary striker, but a Nordic monster possessing all the strength, speed, and killer instinct, a goal-scoring machine born to tear apart any defense and turn the seemingly impossible into reality. Is it an exaggeration to say that Erling Haaland is half the strength of the Norwegian national team? Perhaps not. Because in football, there are players who score goals. There are players who make a difference. But there are also those who, simply by appearing on the field, give an entire nation renewed hope to dream of the seemingly impossible. Erling Haaland is one such person. 7 goals in 5 matches. Nearly 60% of Norway's total goals at the 2026 World Cup. Those numbers are enough to affirm the stature of the striker wearing the number 9 shirt. But Haaland's value has never been measured solely by goals. He is the soul of the Norwegian national team. The match against Brazil is the clearest evidence. Against a team with one of the richest traditions in World Cup history, possessing a host of world-class stars, Norway still confidently entered the battle without fear. Because they knew that up front there was still a Nordic monster always ready to change the fate of a match in a single moment. A powerful header to open the scoring. A cool finish in the final minute to seal Brazil's fate. Haaland's 2 goals not only took Norway to the quarterfinals, but also opened a new chapter in the history of Nordic football. From that moment, the whole world began to look at Norway with different eyes. Now, before the next mountain named England, the hopes of the entire Norwegian nation once again rest on the broad shoulders of Erling Haaland. After decades of obscurity, Norway has finally returned to the biggest football festival on the planet. No longer just a team to fill the squad, they bring to the 2026 World Cup a golden generation with promising names. But above all, they possess a weapon that any team would covet, Erling Haaland. If the 2026 World Cup is a stage for superstars, then Haaland is one of the main actors. He doesn't just score goals. He propels the entire team forward. He transforms seemingly impossible matches into fairy tales. He makes his ordinary teammates believe they can beat any big team. That's the greatest thing. Looking at the statistics, one only sees a striker scoring 7 goals in 5 matches. But watching Haaland play minute by minute, one understands why he's a nightmare for every defense. In the group stage, Norway constantly faced teams that played with a large number of defenders. In some matches, Haaland was marked by 2, even 3, centre-backs. Every touch of the ball was a battle. Yet he still scored. Not just one type of goal. It could be a powerful one-touch left-footed shot, or a burst of speed past a defender followed by a coolly placed shot. It was a header that left every centre-back helpless. Or penalties taken with absolute composure under the pressure of tens of thousands of spectators. Even more astonishing is that Haaland's expected goals metric is only around 4.2, yet he scored 7 goals. That speaks a truth. Haaland doesn't wait for the perfect opportunity. He turns the smallest chances into goals. That's a quality only the world's best strikers possess. However, if we only see Haaland as a goal-scoring machine, we only understand half of his value. Erling Haaland's greatest value lies in his ability to inspire confidence. Norway entered the World Cup with many young players, many making their first appearance on the biggest stage on the planet. Under the immense pressure of packed stadiums, any team could collapse psychologically. But Norway didn't, because they had Haaland. Whenever the team fell behind, he was always the first to applaud and encourage them. Whenever a teammate made a mistake, he was also the first to run and hug them. He didn't blame. He didn't hold a grudge. He didn't hang his head in disappointment. He simply said one thing: "Don't worry. We still have a chance." That wasn't blind confidence. It was the promise of a leader. A promise that made the whole team believe the game was only over when the final whistle blew. Haaland's presence completely changed Norway's mentality. Defenders were ready to throw themselves into tackles. Midfielders ran tirelessly. Martin Odegaard accepted playing deep like a midfield worker to free Haaland from defensive duties. Antonio Nusa, Alexander Soloth, and other young players fought with more than 100% effort. Not because they were forced, but because they didn't want to let down their captain, who always fought to the point of exhaustion for them. A team can lack stars, but no team can lack belief. And Haaland is the one who creates that belief. Many football legends have also praised the Norwegian striker. They all share the same opinion. As long as Norway holds firm in the match, Haaland will know how to finish off the opponent. Because that's the instinct of a killer. There have been matches where he almost disappeared for 80 minutes. But with just one chance, one touch, one moment, he will make the whole stadium erupt. That's a quality that no tactic can teach. Now, the biggest challenge awaits Haaland, England. No team understands Haaland better than the Three Lions. John Stones played alongside him at Manchester City. Many English centre-backs have faced him dozens of times in the Premier League. They know every run, every sprint, every cut-in, every preferred shooting angle. Conversely, Haaland understands them down to the smallest detail. It will be a high-level battle of wits between two people who understand each other better than anyone else. This time, Haaland's greatest strength will not just be his speed, physique, or finishing ability, but his mental fortitude. He embodies the spirit of a Viking warrior. He is the burning desire to lead Norway to another miraculous chapter in its history. If he overcomes England, Haaland will not only take Norway to the World Cup semi-finals, he will lead an entire generation of Norwegian players into history. And if that miracle happens, fans will remember not just his 7 goals, but the man who turned the hopes of an entire nation into reality. Because some players are remembered for their titles, some legends for their memorable moments. But Erling Haaland is making the world remember him for something even greater than that: his ability to inspire, to instill belief, and to make an entire nation dare to dream of the seemingly impossible. Tonight, on the Miami pitch, all eyes will once again be on Norway's number 9. Can the Nordic monster break through the Three Lions steel wall? Will Haaland write another chapter in Norwegian football history? The answer will only be revealed in 90 minutes. But one thing is certain. Whatever the final result, Erling Haaland has proven that he is more than just a great striker. He is the heart of the Norwegian national team, a symbol of courage, and a beacon guiding an entire nation on its journey to conquer the World Cup dream.